So this Saturday is our Pink Party Cabaret for Cancer Awareness Month. This Saturday at October the
Really?
28th,
Really?
2017.
Really? You gotta read like that? Like you know you on camera?
No. At Soul Street Lounge.
I mean, we ain't got no special guests or nothing like that, but
I'm the special guest.
we all special guests. So I guess we'll just do, you want to get some chicken? You want chicken out.
And I'm sick of chicken.
I know. We all gonna fly away one day, so you might as well keep eating chicken.
Ain't nothing like the yard bird.
So
pasta salad and
pasta
chicken.
salad, chicken, and the regular snacks and cakes and whatever.
Yeah, that sounds
That's a meal.
Oh, okay.
That sounds
At
good.
least everybody know now we're gonna have. Just because it's don't say it, I mean we will have it.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good.
All right. We gotta do our posts. Did y'all share the posts?
I did.
Facebook? You share the post? I know you're on there, but did you share the post?
I probably did. I'm sure I
I'll
did.
share it again
I'm sure I did.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do it on your phone. Share it. You have it on your phone, the flyer.
Mm-hmm.
You have it on your phone.
I'm sure I do. I'm sure
I'm sure you send it.
Yes, but you need to send it to people on your phone, especially to those people that you probably haven't talked to in a while, that you know that have family members or friends or whatever that are survivors, or maybe those who lost the fight. I'm going to share it with my with my daughter-in-law, her family. There's a lot of cancer in her family. She's lost her aunt, her mom, her uncle. And he works for Cancer Treatment of America. So I'm going to send it out to him. See if he can put it out there. That's the one with the party we went to, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can send it out to him. I sent it to him by email, but I'm sending it to him by phone.
Any response?
Not yet. I'll send it to him. I'll call him again. I'll send it by his phone. I did send it to him by his phone. I'll send it to Janet, because it was his brother. It was her husband and his brother. So I'll send it out to them, but we want to get it out to as many people as possible, because this falls close to home.
Yeah, that cancer
for me
is something. I
personally.
lost two sisters.
Yeah, my mom.
One with breast
And
cancer.
My sister-in-law is actually living with it too. My brother's wife. She just she's been in remission for a while, but she had it in her throat. Is it possible to get it in your your thyroid? Yeah. I think she got it in her thyroid, but she's been she got a bad bout with it maybe a couple of years ago. I thought she was going out of remission, but they were able to get it all, and she's out of remission again. So she's
Yeah, but and then we do have some survivors of breast cancer.
Absolutely.
And Miss Carolette Holmes, tell your story.
Well, first I want to say thanks for letting me come out to Soul Street tonight down here in Chester. I live in Delaware, and just the opportunity to come and sit with you and tell my story, I appreciate that.
Sure.
Absolutely, this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we put so much emphasis in October about breast cancer awareness, but every month should be a month that men and women are checking their breasts to make sure that there are no lumps or any issues going on. My story is that in February of 2012, I was a Saturday morning getting up to get dressed, I took a shower to get ready to go to teach a women's conference, a women's workshop. And while in the shower, on the right breast, all of a sudden I felt a lump. And I moved my hand away right away.
Scared.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I went to the left breast, and that felt normal. I went back over and touched my right breast again, and the lump was still there. And I am a woman of faith. I am a Christian. And I believe that God, when He speaks to me, and I trust Him when He does as well. Because when I came back to touch it the second time, I heard the Lord tell me, do not be afraid. It's cancer. you're not going to die.
Mm. Mm.
And
Wow.
with that, I went to get dressed, tried to act normal, tried to avoid what I had just found, but paying attention to what God had told me. Went on and taught the women's conference, shared with them, listen, today is a rough day. I just found something in my breast. I just need you all praying for me. By Monday, I contacted my primary physician.
Mhm.
And I need to tell you that in November of 2011, I had just had my physical. At the time, I was just turning 55 years old, and I had my physical done. She wrote my mammogram script and said, be sure that you get over and get your mammogram done. And I said, I will.
You never did. You never went.
And I didn't between November and March.
Mm.
I think
When
that's
she did the breast exam, she didn't find anything.
Mm.
And this is the thing I try to explain to so many women as well as men, that a tumor doesn't just sit where you find it. For me to lay down in November and to have the doctor examine and not find anything, and for me by March to have found this tumor, which was between stage 2 and stage 3, it had been in there.
Mhm.
She just didn't feel it. So my reason for just saying what I'm saying, it's important that you do your own self-exams. It's not always the traditional way we've been taught, hand behind your head
Mhm.
and rubbing around, but you have to sit upright as well. I have shared that this tumor can be like a piece of lava, like in a lava lamp.
Mm.
Do you know how when it warms up or something, it just starts to roll and move
Yeah.
around and take its form?
Instead of hard, yeah.
Exactly. That was pretty much my situation. By the time I went to Hospital University of Pennsylvania, where there were the most amazing doctors, shout out to Angela D. Michelle, my oncologist. We had the level 3 ultrasound done on the breast, and they told me right then, you have cancer. And all I could say to them was, I know.
Without a biopsy? Or just,
No, yeah. First they did the level 3 ultrasound,
Okay.
which any woman would go to have a mammogram done. This was a mammogram level 3 ultrasound. So they're looking for deeper inside my tissue, behind tissue, based on what I told them I had. They needed to go deeper. And they call it a level 3
okay.
ultrasound. So the mammogram level 3 ultrasound came up showing the cancer. And she showed me on the screen, and I said, I know it's cancer. Now I need you to tell me how you're going to get this off of me.
Mm.
Because I know what my God had already said to me.
Yeah, that's right.
So we made several schedules of appointments. First was they wanted to just go ahead and take the breast. Then the surgeon looked and said, I think we want to come a little more aggressive. We're going to start you with the chemo to see if we can shrink this, and then we'll talk about surgery. The pathologist had to come and take a biopsy. So going in to see the pathologist, she had me laying down. She couldn't find the lump. I said, I could tell you where. Let me sit up so you can find this lump. And sure enough, it rolled forward again. And she was able to put what they call a clip and just to mark where this tumor had been.
I have that.
So that is pretty much how my story started. And the journey started from there. In May of 2012, they started me with the chemo treatment. I had 12 rounds of chemo. By the 9th round, they couldn't find the tumor. For me, and I encourage anyone, I'm a very healthy 55-year-old woman in 2012. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have diabetes. I'm a little overweight, but I am not on any kinds of medication, yet this cancer showed up for me. So all I could do for my body was to start juicing and doing things preventively to build my immune system to get it ready for the chemo. And I thank God because I feel that that's what assisted me with juicing and flushing and juicing. They gave me the chemo. I flushed with juicing, water, and bowel cleansing, all of that, just to flush it off. By the 9th round, they could not find the tumor, and but they continued with the rounds because it was necessary to do that. October 23rd, 2012, they scheduled me for my surgery. They saved my breast, and I thank God for that. After the surgery was completed, they also had to cut underneath the arm because what I was told by the oncologist, and I want to say that as well, breast cancer does not hurt. It's the chemo that comes after us that is overwhelming to a body. That's why so many people, I think, can go through up to so many stages because even though their body is saying something, they're maybe not paying attention, or it just didn't feel different until it has gotten itself so out of the breast, and it begins stage 4. From what I've brought information about, it starts to move out into other parts of organs.
So that's stage 4?
That's the stage 4.
You were going in that to stage 4?
I was between stage 2 and 3.
2 and 3, okay.
Thank God.
Okay.
So what they wound up doing in surgery was they had to also cut underneath my arm. They took 19 of my lymph nodes out because cancer, as my oncologist said, breast cancer travels up. It doesn't travel down or anywhere else. It travels up. So they had to cut under the arm, and they took out the lymph nodes. And out of those number of lymph nodes, there were still 7 active cancer cells in there. But by them doing this, they were able to determine what exactly my type of, what triggered my cancer. And it was in my ducts, my milk ducts, which ironically, I nursed my babies with these same breast ducts. And all these years later, it came back as breast cancer. But I take 1 pill for the next 10 years. I am part of a trial study with Hospital University of Pennsylvania because I want them to find a cure. And I'm going to be the person who was never sick a day, well, a cold or flu, but I'm not on medications of other sorts. And this was a study they really wanted to use me to do. So I'm still part of this study. I have the most amazing doctors for the next 10 years of my life and going forward. Tomorrow I actually have a echocardiogram. I'm part of a heart study that happens now as well. They're studying the pulsation and the aging of my heart because of the chemo that was done. They're studying still behind that. There's so much research that has to be done. And I'm a part of that study as well. So 6:30 tomorrow morning, I promise I'll be there on time. I go for that echo. And so far each year, my heart is still clapping like this when they look at it. So I thank God I am cancer-free today. I have signed up, that was 2 years ago, to have a bone marrow done because Hospital University of Pennsylvania wanted to try another new drug, which they are working on other patients, but I didn't qualify. Going into my bone marrow was able to draw where exactly all our blood settles pretty much, and they drew this blood to run tests to see if there were any other active cancer cells in my body. If there had been, there's a drug that they were going to let me use or try to start killing off those cancer cells so that I wouldn't see it for the next 10 years. That is something they're progressively working on. But I got the call to say, Ms. Holmes, unfortunately, we find no cancer tumors in your body,
Praise God.
so you're not a candidate for this
That's good.
research.
Yeah.
So I'm thanking God today.
Yeah.
I am still very healthy. I'm 60 years old. Next month, I'll be 61 now. So for me, I rang the bell in 2013 because after the breast surgery, then I had 36 rounds of radiation. And that was ongoing every day for 36 days. I think that recovery was harder for me to watch than the chemo that I knew taking my hair out. But I wasn't prepared for what radiation, because I could physically see how it was starting to change and distort. But the grace of God, everything is well. All is healed.
I know that.
It's
God,
my
that's awesome.
story. It's my journey. I've got a war wound that I will never get rid of, but it tells my story. And again, I just thank you for letting me come and tell it.
Yeah,
Thank you for telling that story.
it's-
That's
it's-
wow.
yeah, it's
So I had
wow.
a scare a couple of years ago that when my left breast, but they
Yes.
put the
clip?
there. Yeah. So every time I go, they meant to have that for this year because I haven't had it done. I usually get it done every year, my birthday.
Yes.
So. I'm
Wow.
okay, sometimes.
I don't like them mammograms. I had my, I
Well,
guess
I don't think anybody
because-
does.
No,
I
they
mean,
just-
I
Especially like the pancake.
I think I had my first one when I was like 21, 22, and it had 1 cent.
Mm.
Oh, you can
And
get
people
one.
that yell at me, my doctors and friends and family even yell at me. I'm like, it was a bad experience. I don't know if the girl didn't know what she was doing, but them 2 plates and where she was, I had a very
Well, it's
bad experience. And I
uncomfortable anyway.
said, all this technology, y'all gonna come up with something else.
No, but
'Cause these two
you
plates-
have to go and get it done.
Yeah,
Yes, you do.
I don't know how many appointments I cancel. Every time I go to the doctor, have you had one? I'm looking
I'm
at
overdue. Like,
I'm
I go.
like,
You need to
No.
go. It's an
No.
uncomfortable feeling, but
no, they got
But
to
I
come
mean,
up
it
with
doesn't
something
last
else.
that long.
No, it doesn't. But I think because of that, I was so young, and that was my first one. Experience was just horrifying.
And usually
And
mammograms.
I have not had one since.
what made you
Right.
get it so young?
So young, yeah.
I don't know.
Because normally you don't go at
Not
No.
until you're about
I don't know.
40,
I
they
was-
say.
I was-
unless
yeah,
it's
I was young.
family
Family.
history.
Mhm.
We have no history.
No history.
My mom did pass away of cancer in 2015. She had stomach cancer, but she was always complaining about stomach. We didn't know if it was a hernia. We didn't know what was going on. But every time she went to the doctor about it, they always called it something else. They never said it was cancer. Never said anything. And then they got to the point where because she had kidney failure also, so she was on dialysis for a while, and then she got her kidney. But being in her 70s, the older she got, the worse thing. She had high blood pressure, she had sugar, she had all this kind of stuff. But the cancer, I mean, that's what was a surprise to everybody, because everybody thought that, that sooner or later the dialysis or the kidney or the failure of her age, because the kidney would fail, which we thought it was failing, but they were, I don't know, medications or whatever, they were able to make sure that she did not have to have another transplant, because she may have not been on the list or even survived it because of her age.
Yeah.
But she was always complaining about stomach pain, but they just never could figure out what it was until they finally said that they're going to have to open her up and see what was going on. And once they opened her up, they closed her right back up. It was stage 4. That was it. It was way too late.
Wow.
But that was the only episode of cancer in my family.
Okay.
So there's no family. It's high blood pressure and heart disease that runs in our family, and kidney disease, of course, but not cancer. So it was a real surprise. And then I kind of like, okay, maybe I gotta go and have a mammogram. I wouldn't even, because I wouldn't even make an appointment.
But you,
I wouldn't even, the fear of even making an appointment.
I can only
but
imagine at 21 that is a bit
it was-
overwhelming.
I don't know
is.
why. I was young. I know I was
Sure.
very
I mean, it's
young.
enough to
It was
do a
before I had
pap
any
smear,
kids,
breast
and
Yeah.
I had my first child at 23.
did you have a
Yeah.
cyst or something like that and you had to go?
And even why the doctor would even okay that.
I had cysts after I had the babies, but I know when I had that first mammogram, I was not. I didn't have any kids because I had my first child at 23, so I was younger, and it was a horrifying experience. I don't know why I had it that young. I don't know if it was my mom or somebody. The doctors took me for whatever reason, but it was a horrifying experience.
I mean, it's horrifying for all women to go through that.
The way I feel right now, the technology that they got, I had sonograms when I had babies.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all can't do this and
I feel
find
the same.
whatever.
You could put
I
a
mean,
man
you
on
would
the
All
moon,
this technology,
You can
and
put
you
man
still
on the
got to
moon,
squeeze
but you
between
can't.
2 plates.
but it seems to be the only way.
Y'all got to come up
I
with something.
think, well, obviously you were 20 years too soon
Yes.
because they really say at about the age of 40
Yeah.
and going on that mammograms should be done annually. So
Right.
it's a tough pill to swallow. And I'm gonna tell
Every
you,
time a doctor tells me, you need to make a
But
phone.
tell her, Carol,
I was like, you
Carol,
know what?
tell her.
You need.
She needs to go, right?
You need to come up. When y'all
She
come
needs
up
to
with a
go.
new technology,
something
It's not gonna be
I'll
able
be
to
right
technology.
there.
That's the
I'll be
only
right
thing they
there.
use it. So you
I'ma
need to
show
go.
us.
They got MRIs. They got all this stuff. They can see clear through you. Why can't they come up with something? You know,
Or maybe it should be good at
They
having
got
that one,
But guess what? Until
You
they
know, like
level,
the one-
the level 3 ones where they
They
give
still
her
had
that.
to smash the
They still gotta
breast. They had to
smash, okay.
smash, but it just takes a different eye view.
And
of
I do.
tissue
I
on
mean,
that
I
side.
you know, I do my checks. Or doctor, told me how to do my checks and stuff. I do all that.
Okay,
You know.
the doctor told her how to do her check too, but she still wound up with breast cancer.
You know what?
but until they find
said,
another way,
Till I find another way.
you need to get.
They got to find
What
this
if there's no
other
other way?
technology.
Then what?
Mhm.
All
Then
this
what?
technology out in the world. Come on, they got robots and everything else.